One of the most breakout, impressive prospect slash contender performances that I've probably seen in recent times, really. David Benavidez manages to knock out Rogelio, Porky, Medina in the 8th round. Really, really impressive performance, and what a great fight too. Just an all-out action fight, pretty much the whole way through. Benavidez started off pretty well, utilizing his range, his jab, really well. I mean, Medina definitely had a height and reach disadvantage. He was looking to try and cut down the distance. Benavidez was maintaining the distance fairly well and just kind of utilizing a lot of nice little subtle movements with his upper body, a lot of leans to the side and backwards to just kind of avoid Medina's shots and even counter a lot of those shots as well, some of the more wild shots. Medina, though, didn't waste any time getting to work, especially in the 2nd round, was looking to push Benavidez back, looking to definitely test that body. Benavidez has looked a little bit soft at times at super middleweight. I mean, he is a bit of a former fat kid. He kind of slowly kind of cut his way down to becoming like a middleweight slash super middleweight. He's settled in fairly well at super middleweight now. I'd say fairly decently. He's only 20 years old too, so I mean, there's definitely room for him to grow. He'll probably be a light heavyweight or maybe even a cruiserweight before it's all said and done, but who knows? But I think that he was doing fairly well, even though Medina was cutting off the ring on him. I thought Medina won the 2nd and the 3rd round, which is the brutality that he was able to provide in pushing Benavidez back, pushing him up against the ropes, working the body, working the head, body, head. I thought Benavidez was able to fight off the ropes really well, however, as well. I just didn't think that his punches necessarily had the same level of sting on them that Medina's did. So, like, when you saw Medina really throwing his shots, you could tell that they were really landing with a lot of force. Benavidez was landing the flashier shots, but I felt like the more thudding, powerful shots were being landed by Medina, even if they weren't as, eye-catching. The 4th round, I thought Benavidez started to kind of retake over in terms of getting his distance back. Medina was still pressing forward. I mean, they both had their moments. Medina on the inside, Benavidez on the inside, and Benavidez on the outside. Definitely at mid and long range, Benavidez had a clear advantage. At the closer distance, however, Medina just had a very slight advantage, but Benavidez was able to get off some pretty good stuff on his own, in his own right. 5th round, I thought Benavidez managed to edge as well. Like I said, a lot of these rounds were really close. 6th round, Benavidez managed to get his first knockdown off of Medina. Body shots is pretty much what set it up. Medina was able to kind of be saved towards the end of the round. It was at the end of the round by the bell. 7th round started, and Benavidez managed to drop Medina once again, and it was largely body shots that was doing the job. I mean, just digging into the body. Medina had an iron chin, as he's shown in the past, as he showed against James DeGale recently even, as he had shown even previous to that against Jalen Love, and he knocked him out. And finally, in the 8th round, Benavidez hurt Medina with, about 3 body shots, and then like a Sugar Ray Leonard style, like shoe shine power flurry of about 8 shots to the head. And he just dropped Medina looking almost like limp, almost completely out of the ring. Like he just dropped him the way that he fell, like into like the edge of the ring / the ropes. He was definitely out of it. He was definitely taking a lot of punishment by that time. The ref waved it off as soon as he kind of saw like Benavidez almost bounce off of the canvas. And that was, I mean, after he saw Medina almost bounce off of the canvas, and that's all she wrote. And David Benavidez is now, I mean, he looms as a top contender for the WBC belt. How soon is he going to get that title? I mean, hopefully that's basically going to be coming up next for him. I think he's definitely earned it. This was a big step up for him to fight the likes of a veteran, like elite level contender, a guy that should have been a champion in Porky Medina, because I thought Medina beat the crap out of James DeGale and should have been the IBF champion. But I mean, basically he's the mandatory now. He looms as the mandatory for Callum Smith versus Anthony Durrell. And honestly, I'd pick David Benavidez to beat either of them. And that may change depending on how the two of them perform against each other and who winds up winning that fight. But as of right now, I think Benavidez might turn out to be the man at super middleweight. Only 20 years old, already looking like just an absolute problem for anybody and everybody at the weight class, or anybody that's looking to be coming up to the weight class. And I'm talking about the likes of a Golovkin, the Jacobses, etc. Alvarez, if he wants to be an actual super middleweight and not just fight, celebrities. I think he can get it too. Benavidez was really, really impressive, man. Very, very good win for him. Only other guy that did Medina in anywhere close to a similar fashion was Badu Jack. And, Badu Jack, I think his overall establishments that he's managed to put down in terms of what he's proven at super middleweight, I think go without saying. And, I think he's, even without having a fight at 175, he's already a top light heavyweight as far as I'm concerned. So Benavidez, for him to be able to ostensibly duplicate that level of a performance, I think is extremely impressive. Very, very good win for him, and I think he's live against anybody there. Only guy I think I might even favor over him at super middleweight right now might be Gilberto Ramirez, but even then, I mean, Ramirez, he's a little bit too finessed. I'm not sure if he could really dig in the type of gritty fight that David Benavidez has already shown himself to be capable of. I mean, the guy has serious power. I mean, he has excellent boxing skills. He's really got it all. I mean, I think he's living up to and beyond the promise that a lot of people saw for him when he first started sparring in the wild card when he was like 16 years old, sparring some of the better pros in the game. I mean, 18-0 with 17 knockouts, and one of them just came up against potentially one of the best super middleweights on the planet. So I mean, that definitely can't be denied. Props to David Benavidez for a great performance, great win, and props to Rogelio Medina for putting up a hell of a fight as well. I definitely think Medina is still a very, very viable contender, a potential future champion at some point in the future, maybe. But we shall see. But until the next one, I will catch you guys then. Peace.